Hi everyone, so with spring coming up, I thought we would make giant eggs to hang in the hallway. So to do this, you have a couple options. For your background, you can pick green, yellow, or pink. It's completely up to you. I'm gonna do pink just because it's one of my favorite colors. What I'd like you to do before we start painting and adding color is take a pencil, write your name, and then flip your sheet of paper over. You will notice for this project we are working big, and I also have my paper facing vertical, which means the skinny edge is facing up. For our outline, we are going to use our paint puppies. Few things to remember with the paint puppies. You never ever want to squeeze the puppy, otherwise you'll get puppy tears. Inside of these is ink, and if you get ink on you or the table, it's very hard to come off. So please be careful with these ink puppies. To start, you're gonna take the hat off the puppy, set it to the side. Be careful you don't lose this. What we're gonna do is we need to make our outline for our egg first. And because we're working big, we have to make our outline very big. So to start, about halfway, I'm gonna do one dot on the left and then the same dot on the right. This will help us make our egg big. So I'm gonna do one really big curved line stretching all the way down to the bottom to get to this big giant egg. So I'm stretching, making it big, not squeezing that puppy, and connecting those two dots. Then we're gonna make our top, and our top is a little bit more squished, but we're gonna make it look kind of like an oval. Going all the way up to the top, and then connecting back down to the dot. If you have to go over some of your spots because they're too light, you can. Or if you get puppy tears, make sure you leave your paper flat so that your puppy tears don't spread across your paper. Next, what you're gonna do using your puppy is you're gonna make some lines. And what lines you decide to do are completely up to you. So starting at the top, I think I'm gonna start with a loop line. And then off that loop line, I'm gonna make a bumpy line, and then some dots. And then I'm just gonna continue down the egg. So I did a straight line there, and I'm gonna do another straight line right next to it to make it a parallel line. Parallel lines are lines that never cross. Next, I'm gonna do a zigzag line. And in between my zigzag line, I'm gonna do more dots. And then under my zigzag line, I'm gonna do another straight line. Notice how I'm curving it a little bit just to match the shape of that egg. Now I'm gonna do a loopy line. And you can get as creative as you want. If you wanna add extra shapes or if you wanna add double lines, you can make it however you want. Try to just fill it up with as many lines as possible. I'm gonna do a wavy, wormy line next. And I'm gonna finish off the bottom. If there's some lines you wanna make look thicker, just go over them and add more to it. So I'm gonna make this line thicker. I think this line needs to be thicker, so I'm gonna color it in. And maybe I'll fill in this line too. If there's any extra spots where you want to add details, go ahead and do it now. We have to let our puppies dry a little bit and our ink dry a little bit before we start adding our paint sticks. So leave it flat on your table for right now, and you can tell it's dry when it's no longer shiny. So if I lift it up, my ink does not look shiny, which means it is dry. Once it's dry, we're gonna start adding our paint sticks. And your paint sticks are gonna be colored in each different section. Now keep in mind, my paper is pink, so I'm probably not gonna wanna use a lot of pink because I already have pink. So think about the other colors that you could use. So maybe I'll start with green, and I'm just gonna fill in the spaces. So I'm gonna fast forward through this part so you can see my finished product. What's nice about this, because we're using colored paper, is you can use white too to lighten up those colors. If you're blending on your paper, make sure you blend right while it's still wet, and your colors will mix right on your paper. As I go along too, I'm making sure that I don't have any white spots. So I missed a little spot right there. So I'm gonna go back in and touch that up. I don't want any spots showing through. Perfect, so my color is all in here. Well, for one last step, I'm gonna just touch up some of my areas back with my paint puppy. So you can see where my blue and my green kind of overlapped over the black, which makes it kind of hard to see. So I'm just gonna take my paint puppy again and retrace my black lines to make them really pop and stand out. Perfect, and my egg just needs to dry, so make sure you pick it up and put it into the drying rack. We've got two more final steps. What I'd like us to do first is cut out our egg. And there we go, and your scraps can go into the garbage. And then as our last and final step, I'd like you to use your metallic Sharpies to create little details within your egg. You can do the shiny details on the color or on the black. So I'm gonna fast forward through this part as well. Perfect, and my piece is all done. What's nice about this egg is you could flip it either way and it'll still look nice. Double check to make sure your name is still on the back, and go ahead, put your egg in the drying rack just in case there's a few spots that still need to dry.